So here we are in the sacristy. It's where all of the elements are kept, all of the beautiful vessels and the linens that we use are stored. This was renovated in 2016. We put cork flooring down so it was quiet in here. It's much bigger than it had been. And we talked with Altar Guild people to sort of help design what the space would be like. And so now I'm going to invite Sally and Bobby to talk about what's in here and how it's stored. We'll begin in this space. Let me move out of the way and invite Sally to come in.
But as you can see, these are sort of like architectural drawers, and because we're dealing with flat objects, and this is easy for me to reach, so I'll take them out. These are the burses, which are the things that hold the tablecloth. And there's colors for every season, and of course they match the veils that match the front of the altar, that also match the celebrant's chasuble. So it all comes together, and many of them have wonderful symbols like the grape. I am the vine and you are the grape, and all sorts of lovely.
These two were made by Sandra.
Sandra, oh
both
yes.
The purple one and this one.
Yeah,
Sandra Darling made these. And made the vestments to go with them.
But they're all very special and different, each representing the artwork of a craftswoman who contributed to our enjoyment of our services. And of course we have various extras here, which are elegant and lacy and pretty scary.
Well, Bobby, just let me do a couple things. Because up here are and it is a little tall for us, but up here are the silk veils that go with them.
Right.
And
that matched the white
and so these are
burst
kept here and with markings so that you know if you need the white ones, they're where they are, and the green ones, and sometimes we have more than one. And then these are where the linens are kept, and this red
is the season where the particular set
this is what we're using right now. So if someone comes in here and is going to set up on a Saturday, they know to go to this drawer first, and they look in here and make sure that there's the credence cloth, the corporal,
the pall.
Yeah. And some sets are old and don't have all the pieces. So we have down here it says extras. So we have lots of extras. And so we use those.
Now,
here are the Purificators. And
each one of these are the small that
go over the chalices.
Yeah. And the acolytes and whatnot.
These drawers are quite full right now, and often there are lots of these that are out being laundered, and it isn't quite so full, but today they're quite full. And then here we have towels
This is the more mundane stuff, because we do regular
clean up. And then down here we have the church linens, and this is how the altar cloths are kept when they're not on the altar. So here's one, it's the Brussels altar cloth that's used at Easter, and the matching other pieces that go with it they're right up here in this drawer.
And these drawers with the little notches and the dowels were made specially for the size of our altar cloths, which again, it's a custom altar cloth.
And they're kept on, so when you're ironing them at home, you can roll them up on here and they fit in these drawers. And they were very scientifically designed so that they would fit. You're not really sure which one is going to be in here and whether it matches what's on the altar. You can actually see what the Greek cross looks like, what the
Festival Brussels.
Yeah.
Those are the embroidered symbols on the fair linen that's in there.
That's right.
Exactly.
And the reason there's two on here is because we didn't have enough drawers. So, and these aren't used very much, so we put them in together so they're not going in and out a lot. This one is a relatively new one it's got very sturdy material that we can use for a long period of time. Same thing with this one. This is called the one that's on the altar now. Same thing. It's got very sturdy, heavier duty material. Whereas these are much more delicate and wouldn't stand up if we used them all the time.
So what's in here, and what are we going to put away in there?
Okay. Well, these are the locked cupboards where we keep the silver, and of course there's an ironing board on one side of it, which doesn't need to be locked up. But well, maybe I should just keep that part shut. But we usually unlock them both at the same time. And you have to remember to lock them up when you leave. And when we're going to put the silver away, we come in here and we see that each piece of silver has a bag that's the right size for that piece. And they have names on them that match, so that if you're wondering where it goes, you look on here and this says Church Silver Flagon.
So flagon, let's put the flagon.
The flagon is what we bring the wine up to the altar and leave it so that you actually the rector actually puts the celebrant puts the wine into the cup from the flagon, so we don't bring.
What else have you got over there, Bobby?
Well, we got the ciborium, which usually has wafers for the congregation,
Okay.
and it's quite fancy. And I'm not sure who gave this to us, but it's really kind of a stunner.
Anyway, these bags are specially made to hold silver, to keep them from tarnishing. And it does a pretty good job. We don't need to polish them too often, which is good, because polishing them isn't such a good idea either. You don't have to. We also put strips in here to keep them from tarnishing in the back, and replace those occasionally. And this one is for the blue jeweled chalice. And so put that in here. There we go.
Perfect. Well, we'll shut that and let's see what else we have. I think we have a special sink we're going to be looking at too. Oh, one more, the patent.
Well, this is the more mundane part of what we use. Extra supplies of incense, things to help us clean our vessels, and other supplies, wafers and whatnot. And wicks for our candles that go on the altar, and light them. Now this is the piscina, which is a special little sink that we use to clean the linens, and if there are any crumbs from the paten or from the service that have been blessed. We use boiling water which gets the wine stains out, and it goes directly to the earth, back to God's creation. And we don't use a regular sink, and it doesn't go to Metro. Back here we also have traveling kits for clergy who are or Eucharistic ministers who go to visit the sick, or people who cannot get to church. And these small vessels are used for people who really do want to have church but aren't able to get there themselves. And so they have to be washed and use the piscina to clean these elements as well.
Bobby, what's the screen to your left?
That's to keep things from splattering. And sometimes when you've got boiling water involved, you can involve yourself with a little more than you bargained for. Also, boiling water is not easy to handle with your fingers, so we have little tongs to do that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I want to close out this conversation about the Altar Guild and our sacred vessels and the things that the Altar Guild does by thanking Sally and Bonnie for their service and for the work in the Altar Guild, the behind the scenes, the humble service, right, that this ministry, the participants in this ministry come to know. I also want to encourage people out there to consider this. This is a beautiful ministry. It's stepping into history. It is caring for beautiful things. It is quiet. It's the kind of ministry that matters a great deal in the life of this parish. Sally and Bobby, are there any words of wisdom or things that you hope for with the Altar Guild, or things that we don't have that you might like to have, or things that you'd like to say to people who have yet to become Altar Guild members? They don't know that they want to be Altar Guild members yet, but you're inviting them into it.
You should come and give it a whirl. We'd love to have you pair up with us and take a trip through a service with us. And also, around the holidays, you can join us and help us make wreaths, which we do, and hang in the church. We don't hang them, thank goodness. We have the rector and the music director who did it this year. But that's tremendous fun, and we welcome new adventurers down this very interesting way to learn more about our faith.
And it is a very joyous ministry. We have a lot of fun doing it. I know it It sounds kind of serious, but we do have a few laughs.
So thank you.